Personal development is a lifelong process which involves a conscious pursuit of gradual and steady growth and improvement towards the realization of a continuous better version of oneself. This is a really packed definition, but I'm going to help us by breaking it down so that we can help or appreciate the thoughts or idea of this definition. So there are three ideas that come to my mind anytime I think about personal development from the above definition, and I'm glad to share these three ideas with you. Number one is that personal development is a lifelong process. Very, very important. Personal development, it's a lifelong process. It's unending. It's not something that ends. It's not something, once we are human beings and we are going through life, we have to commit ourselves to continually improving upon ourselves. It is something that happens all the time. Sometimes you realize that you have developed to a certain stage, but you also have to realize that there are bigger things ahead of you that you must achieve, and therefore in order to be able to get there, you have to continually expose yourself to personal development. That is how you become better and better at each day. You must never come to the place where you assume that you have arrived. When you begin to think about the fact that you have arrived, that is when you start deteriorating. That is when you start retrogressing. But if you want to continually grow and then improve and become a better person in life, then you have to always keep personal development at the back of your mind, because it is a process that does not end. It's a lifelong process. It only ends when you are no more. But once you remain a human being, never stop developing yourself. So the first idea is that personal development is a lifelong process, and the fact that it is unending. Second idea, personal development is a conscious pursuit. That means that it doesn't happen automatically. It requires an effort on your part. If you want to become a better person, it doesn't just happen automatically. You don't just sit down and then overnight you become a better person. If you want to be promoted in your workplace, you don't just sit down and then overnight you get the promotion that you're looking for. If you want to graduate with a better grade or a better class in school, it doesn't just happen. You have to give yourself some timeline. You have to develop yourself. You have to put in some effort. There are things that you have to do in order to become a better version of yourself. So personal development, although it's a lifelong process, it is also a conscious effort. It is something that requires that you do something in order to achieve the goal that you're looking for. It doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen automatically. Third idea is that personal development is gradual and steady. That means that the results that you look out for does not happen overnight. However, there are evidences of little improvement. The truth is that when you look at where you are now, you are not where you want to be. But the truth of the matter is also that when you look back, you are not where you used to be. You have made some improvement. But you also have to look ahead of you and realize that there are a lot of things that you set for yourself that you have not achieved yet. So even though you are not where you used to be, but you have also not gotten where you want to be. But in between these two, you also have to realize that there have been some improvement in your life. Therefore, if you want to progress and then become a better version towards becoming the person that God has created you to become, then you have to also acknowledge the fact that your personal development or the results that you are looking for will not happen overnight. It will happen gradually and it will happen steadily. So personal development is a lifelong process and never ends until you are dead and gone. Personal development is also a conscious effort, a conscious pursuit. Until you devote yourself to it and then do something, it will never happen. And thirdly, personal development is gradual and steady. The results you're looking for will not happen overnight, but it will happen little by little. So what is the general benefit of personal development? Why is it necessary for us to commit ourselves to personal development? This is why I believe personal development is important, because that is the only way I know to attain higher and better heights in life. If you want to realize a better version of yourself, then you have to commit to personal development. If you want to move higher in life, then you have to commit to developing yourself personally. If you want to be promoted wherever you are, you have to commit to personal development. Whoever you are and whatever you do, whatever career you find yourself in or whatever endeavor of life you find yourself in, if you want to move forward and become better, then you have to make personal development a priority. That is the benefit of committing ourselves to personal development. So what are some of the personal development disciplines that we must and adopt in order to become better people in this year, by way of also having a better year, or a better or a great year? The first discipline I want to recommend is that if you want to develop yourself personally, you have to read a lot. Commit to reading a lot, especially in the areas where you want your life to improve or to develop. So if your finances are not going well and you want to improve upon your finances, then find a lot of books or materials that talk about finances, how to become financially independent, and then read them. If you want to become a better student, then you have to be committed to your studies. If you want to become a better preacher, then you have to read a lot of spiritual books. If you want to become a better DJ, then you have to commit to reading books or reading articles or materials that talk about becoming a better DJ. No matter what you want to do, there is nothing new in this world. Whoever you want to become and whatever you want to do has been done by someone already. So find out their ideas, learn from their successes, and then benefit from their mistakes, and then help yourself to become better so that you don't end up repeating their mistakes. But while you also don't end up repeating their mistakes, you're also taking advantage of their successes, the secret that helped them to become successful. So if you want to become a better person, then there is nothing new in this world. Read a lot, especially in the areas that you desire to become better. If you want to marry, read a lot about marriage before you enter into it. If you want to enter into a business, read a lot about businesses, business books before you even start business. Because if you don't, you enter into it, and then over time you realize that the business is on the verge of collapse. So if you want to develop yourself personally this year, find books that talk about the spheres of your life where you want to develop, and then commit to reading them. The second discipline is that create a strong practice regime. Create a strong practice regime. Bury yourself into habits that are capable of moving you forward towards becoming a better version. And so what are some of these habits? The habit of reading, the habit of meditation, the habit of brainstorming, the habit of planning, the habit of attending conferences, inspiring conferences and workshops. Attend all these conferences and workshops because they help to make you a better person. Consume yourself into planning, brainstorming, meditating. Don't commit to too much talking. There are certain times that you have to sit down and then plan ahead for your future. Plan for your future. You have to ask yourself that what next after school? There are a lot of things that you have to start planning for. And these are some of the practices that you have to engage yourself in. Don't just go about and then doing social media and sending pictures on WhatsApp and videos and all of those things. They are good, but they have time. You should have time for those things. But beyond that, you also have to sit down sometimes and then plan for your life. Because if you don't plan for your life will take you by surprise. If you don't plan for the future will take you by surprise. So commit to strong practice regimes or practices that are capable of moving you forward. If it is reading, commit to reading. If it is planning, commit to planning. If it is brainstorming, commit to it. And attending conferences and inspiring workshops that will help you to grow and become a better version. And then the third discipline is that surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with like-minded people. I want you to write this down. The company you keep either helps to improve or deteriorate your life. The company you keep, the people you surround yourself with, either helps to improve your life or deteriorate your life. If your life is not improving, then you have to check the people you're working with. If your life is not making progress and your life is not making strides, you have to check the people that you converse with most of the time. If your life is deteriorating, then it may be because of the people that you get your ideas from. So if you want your life to improve, then you have to redefine the people that you work with. You have to make sure that the people you are working with are people who are committed to personal development, people who are committed to making their lives better, people who are committed to attaining higher heights in life, not people who are just committed about the here and the present, and that is all. Commit yourself to people who are thinking about the future and want to have a better future and a better year than they've had in the previous years. So if you want to personally develop yourself, then you have to check the company that you keep, because the company you keep either helps to improve your life or to deteriorate your life. You may read a lot of books, but if you keep the wrong company, your life will still deteriorate. So I want to say this to you, that for the sake of your own destiny, I want to encourage you to work with those who are committed to personal development, and I guarantee you that you will never fail to improve and then become better. If you want to develop yourself personally in order to achieve a better version of yourself this year, then you have to read a lot, you have to commit to a strong practice regime, and then you have to surround yourself with like-minded people, people who are going your direction, people who can motivate you, people who can encourage you, people who can even tell you when you are wrong and they can correct you and help you, people who can inspire you to become a better version of yourself, not people who are always committed to partying and people who are not committed to the future, but people who love to have a better future and love to have a better version of themselves. So I want to leave you with this quote, that keep improving, keep learning, keep upgrading, and keep developing yourself and exploring new opportunities to be better, because that is the only way you get to the top and then stay there. So if you want to get to the top and stay there for a very long time, if you want to become a better person in this year, and if you want to have a better 2020 and a better decade than the previous year and the previous decade, then you have to keep learning, you have to keep improving, you have to keep upgrading yourself, and you have to keep developing yourself and exploring new opportunities to be better, because that is the only way to get to and to stay on top. God bless you.